Hi there. So Claude Code is one of the most versatile coding agents out there, thanks to a lot of the built-in features like sub-agents, parallel agents, and a very impressive plan mode. And when you couple it with some of the best AI models in the market, including Opus 4.5, it makes to be a really awesome combination. But the only one downside is that you either have to be part of the Claude Pro or the Claude Max subscription, which will cost you anywhere between $10 to $20 for Pro plan and $100 to $200 for the Max plan for the usage limits. Now, while that is fairly accessible and you can use it, it might not be accessible to everyone. And some folks might actually prefer to use local models rather than paying for that amount of money, especially if you are not part of a team that is paying for your Claude Pro subscription. So in that case, one of the ways that you can actually use open source models with Claude Code and not have to pay a single dime is with the help of Docker Model Runner. So if you're not aware what Docker Model Runner is, it's a very easy way for you to run and deploy AI models using Docker. So in this case, you can use a bunch of different Ollama-compatible or OpenAI-compatible models, package the model Giga files as OCI artifacts, and then you can deploy them on Docker Hub and then download them like you would download a Docker image into your system. You can basically download these models, AI models, and you can run them completely locally as well if you're using Docker Desktop. So for example, here I have Docker Desktop running and I have the model section here. So you need to basically ensure that you have enabled in the AI settings, you have enabled Docker Model Runner, and you also have to enable the host side TCP support for our use case to run with Claude Code. So once you have settings enabled, you will be able to look at the models repository here, and you can take a look at all of the different open source models which are available. And you just have to go ahead and click on pull, and it will pull the model OCI artifact that's right now on Docker Hub, and you'll be able to run that completely locally using Docker. So in this case, for example, I have currently installed the Qwen 3 coder model, which is one of the more recommended models for local coding, and it is about 16 gigabytes in size, and that's the model that we'll basically use. So with this setup, you can actually replace the Claude 4.5 Sonnet or the Claude 4.5 Opus models and just completely run everything locally. And that means that you don't have to pay for the subscription of Claude Pro or Claude Max, and you can just use the local model. Now, in order to set that up, there are a few things. So for example, right now you're seeing that I'm running 4.5. So I'll exit out of this. And there are a couple of things that you have to set. The first one is that you have to basically set the Anthropic base model. So Anthropic auth token. So set that as Docker. We'll do that. And there's another command that you have to run, which is Anthropic base URL. So this we are basically replacing with localhost 12434. So this is the URL for Docker Model Runner. So when you're running and you want to serve Docker Model Runner with an API, so for example, if you want to see here, we will have some examples for API reference. So this gives you that the host process for TCP is actually running on localhost 12434. So by saving this as our base URL, this will actually allow us to now for the Claude Code to directly use the local model that you'll use with Docker Model Runner, in this case with Qwen 3, and then we add the command Claude, and in the Claude command we give it this flag for model, and we give it AI/Qwen 3 coder, which is the model that we will be using for our local model setup. So as soon as we run this, what you'll see is that it basically swaps the pricing, which was earlier, it was like, Claude Pro subscription and it was using Sonnet 4.5. Now it will basically use AI Qwen 3 coder, which is from Docker Model Runner. And of course, you are seeing here API usage, but ultimately, because we are using a model that's running locally, there's no API usage for billing. So you're not really spending tokens, or you're not having to pay for token usage. Everything will run locally. So I can ask it, create an HTML page for showing the text Claude Code plus Docker Model Runner. So as soon as we start to do that, you'll see that it's basically using the Qwen 3 coder model instead of all of the paid models. So even if you don't have a paid subscription of Claude Code, that's perfectly fine. You can use the local models supported from Docker. Of course, if you have some cloud hosted models as well, that might also work pretty fine, but the use case here is really just having complete offline first experience, not having to pay at all, and just using the great built-in models which are supported in containerized environment running with the help of Docker. So here, of course, this might take a bit more amount of time, especially when you are running this for the first time. It might take slightly more time as compared to previous ones, but here you can see some of the examples that I ran. Here it was just running this with the Qwen 3 model as well, and I asked it to create a simple HTML page with the text, and within a matter of a few seconds it is able to demonstrate all of this. So this the initial load might take just a bit of time, but you can see here that it in a few seconds it was able to create the Claude model.html, and now I can go ahead and create this and ask it to also serve this if you want. And with that, you can see that how we are able to now leverage Claude Code, but use it with the Docker model runner. So again, just as a quick summary, just ensure that you replace your Anthropic auth token with Docker, and also you apply Anthropic base URL as your base URL for Docker model runner, and provide the model. So do ensure that the model is already downloaded. And one more thing is that ensure that the host site TCP support is already added. So that's a quick tutorial on how you can run Claude Code, with completely offline first models. Thank you so much.